Roger, I know you looked for the perfect company for more than 5 years, and you spent a lot of money in that search. Why was it Shaklee?
I was trying to search and see if I could find a company, what I would call the perfect company, where the very money-making activity of the business actually was accomplishing very positive and large social change at the same time. And so when I saw Shaklee, it was like I found the perfect company, because Shaklee now has just paid more than $5 billion in commissions to people for sharing Shaklee products. It's an incredible number. But what I think is most exciting about the $5 billion we paid to the members of our Shaklee family is that not one penny has been paid to anybody who hasn't first made somebody else healthier, given people the opportunity to provide a better financial future for themselves and their family, and at the same time make the planet a healthier place. And I think that's a beautiful idea, and that's what really attracted me to Shaklee as an idea.
You've also talked about Shaklee being a $500 million startup. What does that mean?
Well, I've been involved in startups before, and I've been involved in established companies before. And what I saw in Shaklee was a unique combination, which is something that had a 50-year-old heritage and foundation. And the foundation was so broad and deep. It was a foundation where we've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in research and development to create this incredible product portfolio, a history and a heritage of paying out $5 billion in commissions to people, a proven system of success and model. And yet, the future was far greater than this incredible, illustrious past. And so that's what I was looking for, because startups are exciting potentially as an idea, but so many startups fail because they are unproven. And what I think makes people attracted to the idea of a startup is that they get to be part of the beginning of something, and they get to share this novel idea or product or service with new people. And what I saw in Shaklee, and the reason why I bought Shaklee and invested in it at this time, is that we had this incredible base. And yet, the future was going to be written from today forward. And so people who join us today, like myself, we get to participate in sharing the idea and the message of Shaklee to those hundreds of millions of people who have not yet heard of us.
What is it that makes Shaklee so unique?
Well, I've never seen a company that has been so true to its values for such an extended period of time. And what happens is that Shaklee was so far ahead of the curve in what we stood for as a company that we've had decades of refining and perfecting our values and our practices, which now puts us in an extremely positive competitive advantage relative to the rest of the world. Now, what do I mean? Some basic principles. First, living in harmony with nature. You have to put yourself back into 1956, when the, humans were just inventing synthetic materials and plastic and nylon. And Dr. Shaklee gets up and said, we're going to create a company based on the principles of living in harmony with nature. And from nature, we're going to derive products that will help us live a natural and better and healthier life. And all the chemicals that we created during that time made our lives easier, but now we're learning that they also have caused significant and substantial health challenges to people because of the chemicals. And we remain true to our values of living in harmony with nature. So we have decades of research of how to create products that work just as well as chemical ones without the nasty chemicals in them. And at the same time, we live certain principles that says if we're going to take from nature, we must give back an equal part, and that led us to become the very first company in the world to be climate neutral certified, to fully offset our carbon emissions. Now, we've actually gone back, and I am attributing about $1 billion worth of our sales to being true to our values, because I think people are more loyal to a company that stands for something than a company that doesn't. And so our average customer has been with Shaklee for 17 years. I actually don't know of any other consumer products company in the world that has that kind of longevity. And what that means for people is that if they're introducing people to Shaklee today, if they could get the benefit of that, not just for today, not just for a month, not just for a year, but for 5 years and 10 years and 15 years and 20 years, that creates an enormous generational wealth in return for making people and the planet healthier at the same time.
And that longevity is attributed to the product's work, right? And you've even done some studies about the proof of our products.
Well, we challenged ourselves and we said, can we be the first and only company in the world to prove that over a two-decade period, 20-year period, that our products enhance people's health? and create the foundation for a longer and healthier life. And so we did the largest long-term supplement usage study ever done with the Berkeley School of Public Health at the University of California, and it tested people who've been taking Shaklee products for a minimum of 20 years and compared them to people who took just another multivitamin and people who took no supplements whatsoever. And our people had markedly better health in every single category. And we've seen it in these people. We've seen it in the millions of people who have had improved health. And then at the highest levels of global athletic performance, you know, with this past Vancouver Games, we have actually surpassed 100 gold, silver, and bronze medals that athletes who are powered by Shaklee have achieved. It's a remarkable statistic. So from average, ordinary people to the most elite athletes in the world, to clinical studies, to published results, proof of how the products work is the most important thing in our business.
It is. Well, let's talk a little bit about the future. What's the future? Where's Shaklee going?
Well, what we want to do is simply become the vehicle to empower people to achieve an incredible future for themselves and their family. And the question is how? And the commitment that I like to make to people is that we will constantly innovate and advance the state of what we provide the members of our Shaklee family, from the products that we provide as well as the financial opportunity that we provide. And one of the things that I'm most excited about is that in the last 5 years, the world has undergone a dramatic change. And that's because of the connectivity that people have done through social networking sites like Facebook. Facebook didn't exist 6 years ago. And today, if it was a country, it would be the fourth largest country in the world. There's now 400 million people connected. And so what we try to do is say, look, how can we reward people for all the value of the network that they bring to Shaklee? How can we reward people for all the people that they introduce to Shaklee, and not just that, but all the people that they introduce, and not just them, but all the people that they introduce forever, across all time, generation after generation, country after country. It's such a powerful entrepreneurial concept, and no one really has ever done that before. And we launched this program called True Infinity that pays people for an infinite set of referrals. And I think that's going to change the way that people work, because people today want to create income for themselves, share what they're passionate about with people, and the scope and scale of what they can do that tomorrow is far greater than at any point in human history. And we want to support that and create an opportunity for them to thrive by talking about and sharing passionate and the gift of Shaklee's health and income with other people. And I talked to somebody this morning on the telephone, and he said, look, I want to make a difference. I know that I can do something in my life, but I'm searching for the vehicle for which I can do that. And I said, you know, Shaklee for me is the vehicle through which I think we can make a massive difference in the world. I search for something because I'm personally not interested just in making money. I've been blessed and fortunate to make a good amount of money in my life. I'm interested in making an impact, and I want to do it by empowering people to improve their lives. And for me, I've never seen a vehicle that has the capacity to empower and touch more people through positive change using financial incentives, billions of dollars that we hope to pay out in the future to get people to share a message of health and wellness and freedom, financial freedom, with other people. And I'm excited about that.